I'm gonna fire up my Nintendo when I get home and put in my original.
I have the SNES.
Get out my Power Glove.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do have a Power Glove.
I've got the SNES Classic, and I still play A Link to the Past. I'm in the middle of...
That was the best Zelda game.
Best Zelda game.
So, coming back to the beer,
yes.
I think...
This week we sit down with Chuck Patella of Howard Street Brewing. This is episode 102 of The Malting Hour.
What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast and speeds. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
And to my right,
Danny Polly.
Hey Dan, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Nice. It was fun driving in with you.
Yes.
You made me stop and get you a breakfast sandwich.
I did. It was delicious.
Hey Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, we are here. Where are we? We're not in Evanston. Rogers Park. Whew, dude.
Close to Evanston.
I probably should have woken up a little bit more before I did this, but
Maybe you should have gotten coffee at Dunkin' Donuts.
I drink coffee on the way here, but here we are now on our first beer of the day. But we're here at Rogers Park, and we are joined with...
I am Chuck Patella from Howard Street Brewing Company.
We are sitting in Howard Street Brewing. Thank you for allowing us to come in today and wanting to be on the show. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We're excited about coming out here. You and I met... this is going to be another thank you to my buddy Joe, or our friend Joe Steigerwald, who works for Crushed by Giants and Dry Hop and Corridor. I always forget Corridor. He needed some volunteers to help pour beer at the Friday night flights. And I volunteered, came out there. It was a great time. And Chuck, that's where I met you, man. It was towards the end of the night.
Yeah,
I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, we were getting into some beers by that point for sure.
It was fun, and we got to talking and learned a little bit about you then. But why don't you give us the story about you and Howard Street and how it came to be?
Sure. So I was an avid home brewer for 10 to 15 years, I'd say, somewhere in there. So it really all started. I used to go to Rock Bottom after work. So
a lot of stories start with Rock
Bottom. Me and this English guy would go over to Rock Bottom, and we would spend way too much time there because our building was right across the street. So that's really kind of what got me into craft beer. And then he wound up having a place in Michigan, so we would do all these trips. So we would start at Rock Bottom, we'd go down to Flossmoor Station, then we would go to Three Floyds, then we would stop at Shoreline, then we would go to his cabin, and then we would go to Kalamazoo.
Oh, wow.
And, just make a weekend out of the whole thing.
That's very similar to
what it all just starts at Rock Bottom.
It's very the other...
go to Rock Bottom, end up in Michigan.
That's similar to what one of the other hosts, Clark, and I do. He's got a cabin or a home up there in Michigan, and he and I will do a trip like that. These guys are going to experience this summer coming up because... I'll tell you guys after my off mic.
And that's where we get murdered.
What part of Michigan?
St. Joe's.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great little town.
That's awesome. Well, because you mentioned Shoreline, and my wife and I went. We stayed in Michigan City for our anniversary 2 years ago. Everybody thought I was going to murder her because I found this secluded Airbnb in the woods, and it was awesome. It was a very nice place. I didn't murder her.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. But we stopped at Shoreline, and one of the things I really like about Shoreline, I throw it out there, their fried pickles is a giant fried pickle spear. Mm-hmm. And I had a barrel-aged beer that was also very good there. But anyway, sorry.
I have been there too.
Oh, really?
Also, yeah. Because my cousin has a cabin in Michigan, and they're in South Haven.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
everyone's got cabins in Michigan.
Yeah, not me, but I wish. One day.
You know somebody. It's all
we
right.
have a malting hour cabin.
Oh,
Ooh.
that'd be nice.
You want to help us set up?
Yeah, I'll build that.
That brewery there?
That sounds awesome.
The new malting hour studios.
We'll set up a one-barrel system in there and just rock it out.
Wow.
So, I eventually just started going to more and more breweries and reading all the books and doing all the stuff. I would I'd try to get into the back rooms of all the breweries that I made it to every time I could, and just really studied the craft real hard. And then eventually decided that I was going to do this, and I haven't looked back.
Nice.
So that's good.
Yeah. Well, when do you guys officially open up?
We opened Memorial Day weekend of 2022 this year, so we've been open for about 6 months.
And I know you guys, this has been in the planning for a while, so when did you get the ball rolling with this?
We filed our LLC in 2019.
Oh, shit.
It took forever. There was a lot of construction issues. One of our investors, he'll never listen to this, one of our investors chose terrible people to work on this place, and it was exhausting. During one of the inspections, the electrician came in and was like, "You're gonna have a fire, and I'll pass you, but just know that it's real crap." And I was like, "All right, we'll fix a few things."
No. Nobody wants a fire.
No, it's not what I want at all. Just getting everything built out, and we built a lot of this ourselves. We built this whole bar ourselves, and the sign. We had a fire wall issue, and things were just terrible for a while. But we got through it. It just took a long time.
Nice. So you guys have a sign over here. Thank you for everyone who supported the crowdfunding campaign. It looks like there's a lot of names, so it seems like you got a lot of backing from the community and everything.
Yeah, we did. I think we had about 80 people that donated to us. So the Factory Theater, the reason that I'm here in this location is my wife is the co-artistic director for the Factory Theater next door.
Nice.
And she actually is writing a play that's going up in February, which we're all really excited about. But here I used to bring my homebrews over there, and then eventually the kegs just started being empty. And I was like, well, maybe there's a market here for this kind of thing. And it's worked out great. So we're actually connected through that back hallway, so we can actually give people plastic cups, and they can
that's
go
super
see the
cool.
show, and then it's just beer for the play. So, yeah, we raised about $10,000 through that campaign, and that all went to our fermenters. So we have 5 SS Brewtech fermenters down in the basement.
Oh, nice.
So we have.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I walking in, I'm like, wow, that's not a lot of space. Where is everything happening?
Yeah. The brew kettle, the brew house is up here, and the bright tanks are right there, and then we have the walk-in. But most of the stuff happens downstairs in the dark, dingy basement.
Cool. Oh, just like most homebrewers.
Yeah. Not much has changed.
Which I think that's what you and I we talked about that at the Friday Night Flights. I don't remember what beer it was that I had there. It was an IPA. And
I think it was the Rogers Proud.
Yeah, because I think I was like, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It reminds me of Zombie Dust a bit, and you had said that it was pretty much the same hop profile, and it was kind of an inspiration, especially with home brewing. That beer was kind of, and now when you mention your stories of going up to Michigan and stopping at Three Floyds.
Pale ale or an IPA?
Well, I mean,
it was a pale. Yeah.
Okay, it's.
That was more of a Zombie Dust joke, sorry.
We got it. Thanks, Dan.
I think Gumball Head actually was the beer that really opened up.
Yeah, that's what we talked about as well. Yeah,
just that hop profile was just amazing to me at that time.
Those beers, still have a very special place in my heart. Granted, they are now more readily available, which I think is cool. But man, there's a lot of beer out there right now. So
yeah.
So we're drinking. What are we all drinking here? I'll start with what I'm having. I'm drinking a cat named Poodle, which, as you have said, is named after your cat named Poodle.
Correct.
It's a fantastic IPA, by the way.
Nice. Thank you very much.
What hops did you use?
Citric and Mosaic.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what
I
we
really
did.
like
That
that
was the
combo.
first time we've been open for 6 months. We have an IPA where we're using mostly Centennial and Cascade and Amarillo, but this is the first time we did the Citra Mosaic because it was time.
Nice. Well, with the other IPA that you're talking about using, Centennial and Amarillo, those are classic.
Those are the
hops.
old school
yeah,
hops.
old school hops there. Which is funny because I remember when I'm homebrewing, when I discovered Amarillo, I was everything I was going to do, an Amarillo Pale Ale, an IPA, just all Amarillo. My brother-in-law, I think, did a Amarillo wheat beer. Called it Amarillo Slim or something like that. It was very good.
Nice.
But this is a nice Dan had said, it looks like it's malty, and it is. There's a nice sweetness to it. I like the hop profile in here, man. It's really tasty.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Good. Dan?
I have the Stick 'em Up alt beer, and it is also very delicious. I told Tony as soon as I smelled it, it smells like a brewery. Like I just love the malt smell of it. It's very good. I get a little bit of like a fruit character on it, which I don't know if it's like.
I think that's from the
or...
yeast. Yeah, I think because the alt beer is it's fermented a little lower than normal ale temperatures. So I feel like the yeast did something there to bring out that sort of fruity profile.
It's very like subtle. It's very good. I don't mean to say it's like overpowering with it, but I do love just the smell of it and the taste of it. I love alt beer, so
nice.
It's a good one.
Nice, thank you.
I dipped my nose in this beer and I smelled it. Yeah, it smells like a brew day.
Yeah.
Like when the wort is done, it's really good.
Nice.
I like it. I'm gonna try some of Dan's when he's not looking. Brandon, what are you sipping on?
I am drinking the Pale Moonlight Belgian Strong.
It's an advert. We're not doing ads right now.
I'll take it.
So
any advertising you want to do.
I don't think we were recording at the time.
Oh, cool.
I had mentioned. So at the end of every year, we do our own little award ceremony where we kind of talk about our favorite beers of the year. It's called the Maltese. I had a resolution. We all come up with what's your beer resolution for the new year? And mine this year was to drink more Belgians.
Nice.
And this kind of hits all the notes that I like in Belgian beers. Getting it's not so much banana. It's it's in there, but the maltiness and there's some clove and there's some what's that other. I can't.
What's the other
I can't remember the word I was thinking of.
It is, just so everybody knows. It's 10:45, almost 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. We're all getting
It's Sunday
through it.
morning. Everyone's a little foggy. It's
but regardless, I love Belgian beers, and this is perfect for what I like.
It is like when we peeked in when we were outside at what you have on tap here, and you cover a wide variety of styles, and there's no repeats, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice not to see
5 IPAs.
Yeah. Five hazy IPAs.
Yeah,
And that's a focus, and I think we take a little bit of a hit for that, honestly.
sure. I can see that.
But I don't wanna just brew a bunch of the same beer. I don't want to do that. I think.
Fun.
Right?
Yeah, it just gets old and stale, and for the brewer, I would say not so much. There's an audience for IPAs everywhere, but if I walk into a place and it's all IPAs, I'm less likely to stick around longer and drink something.
Right.
I could see if there was you have 2 IPAs. You have the IPA and a hazy IPA.
Yep.
I feel like that should be enough. When we were at Double Clutch in Evanston, we were talking about what their little hazy coupe or whatever.
Yeah.
I know. I thought maybe the beer. Their one hazy IPA that they made because they were fuck. I forget the story, but it was got to have a hazy on, and
More or less, he felt strong-armed into
yes,
into brewing a hazy IPA.
and it's funny because of the description it says hazy IPA, and all their other beers, being German styles, there's these full long description. It's so funny, but it is one of the beers that they sell a lot of. Even though their primary focus, they won awards, for their German styles. They had to have it. So you do have. having 2 IPAs, one being a regular, one being a hazy, it should be enough. But you got a Pils, just saison, and you're drinking the Raz Berliner, all beer ESB beer, the Belgian Strong. It's
Vienna.
Vienna. Oh, how did I miss that?
To the top.
That's why. Oh, because I saw Eris. Eris's pedestrian.
Yeah, and then we always have we don't make cider here.
Sure.
I'm not even going to pretend like I know how to do that. So we always have an Eris cider on tap, whether it's the pedestrian or the GG or something, because they're amazing.
I was there
now it makes
last weekend.
As I say, now it makes we were supposed to go, we didn't. Now it makes sense why Eris would be here, as we spoke about where we all live. So now it's pretty far out for Eris. I'll have them out here. How is the Berliner that you're having? So you're having a Berliner. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this was our first beer that we added fruit puree to, which we were super excited to try and figure out. And it's worked out great. We've only done This was also the first time that we added lactobacillus outside, because we're on such a small 1-barrel system. When we would do our mango sour, we would actually buy probiotic from Whole Foods.
There you go.
So a mango
That's how I
probiotic.
made my sour, yeah.
Yeah.
Still the home brew here. I like that.
right?
I like that a lot.
But that is not cost effective.
No.
And, I tried to talk to that company and see if they could do like a bulk order of all that stuff, and they were like, no, we don't do that. I was like, okay. Well, time to adult a little bit. Let's put on my big boy brewing pants. And so we added the lacto, and then it soured real nice, and then we just added like a pail of raspberry fruit puree.
It's a beautiful color.
It's pretty. It tastes amazing. It's like a Sour Patch Kid in your mouth.
I'm gonna have to
Like,
have a
it's so
sample
good.
of that.
And it's only like
before.
3.8%. Like, it's nice and easy.
That's the best thing about Berliners. You know? Great flavor and low alcohol. You can drink those all day. Maybe like on a hot summer day when you're sitting in your yard. You know. No? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Totally throwing it out there.
In the malting hour cabin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the official malting hour cabin beer. Boy, we better get started on this cabin. We're investing a lot into this just in this one episode.
So with the community here and like sort of what sells the most for you guys? Like what kind of response have you guys seen for?
It's been awesome. So we are, Peckish Pig is right up the road, but they are in Evanston. So we really are the most northern brewery in Chicago. And this neighborhood was desperate for something like this. There was a restaurant up the street, like a few doors down, that tried to do something like this. I don't think they were beer focused enough, and that model didn't really work for them. Very nice people. But my focus here was really to hire incredibly smart bartenders that know exactly what they're doing and how to help people understand beer more. Like, that was a big focus for me. Because I think when you're running a brewery, there's a lot of people that come in that don't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. There's a guy that we have who has now become a regular that only drank Miller Lite with a shot of whiskey.
Whoa.
And now he comes here and he tries all the beers, and he comes here like twice a week, and he loves it so much.
That's great.
Nice.
And it was just like seeing that sort of conversion and him really appreciating. Yeah, it was really cool. So the neighborhood response has been awesome. What sold the most recently is our Darkling Stout. It's gone because we're on a 1-barrel. We actually just brewed it at Sketchbook on their 7-barrel. So we have 7.4 barrels of that going over there because it sold super fast. Like, it sold out really quickly.
It's funny to know that like a stout is what was going for you.
It's been a little chilly.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, that's true.
So not really getting to talk to anybody who's recently opened a brewery. Like, what is it like trying to find people to work? Like, you mentioned that you were trying to find a good bartenders that knew their stuff. How do you go about that? Are you like posting on like
I posted.
websites?
So Melissa is our head bartender, and she works most days that we're open. She came in. She was at Tapville Social in Evanston. And she just came in one day, and I put something on Culinary Agents, and she saw it, and she came in, and like, it was a match immediately. She had the Pilsner, and she was like, I would love to work here.
That's awesome.
I was like, all right, great. That's awesome. And then there's, you have to pay your people what they're worth, too.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge part of it. And we don't have turnover. We've only been here for 6 months, but nobody's left yet. And I think that's something.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I firmly believe that, you have to pay people what they're worth and what they deserve. And that, I think that's, the industry is missing that in some places, I feel like. And I think that's why there's a lot of turnover.
Everywhere, I feel like that's kind of getting missed. And I feel like, not to get, into politics, and I'm not, one side or the other.
I'll talk about whatever you want.
That's off my. But I do think that we're seeing more of that, obviously, in all sorts of industries where pay is being, needs to come up more to what people are doing, and people need to be paid for what they're doing, and instead of it just being like, well, this is what you're getting offered because that's what I'm giving.
Right.
Right. Get paid for what you're worth, and so that's cool to hear.
It feels, like the social hour, but it's like a generational
Absolutely.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
From
It is. And instead of accepting just what you're being handed, it's asking for and requiring what you deserve.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
And I work, so I have a full-time job in the tech industry, because this place isn't quite there yet. But the technology culture, I think, is you have to be good to people and you have to pay people well, or you won't be able to hire anybody.
Right.
So
much
I think
competition.
coming from that culture has been really beneficial for me to understand how I want to run this place. Right? Like, I want that open culture. Like, I want everybody friendly. I just want a super healthy work environment, right? And I think the tech industry has to do that, or they'll fail.
Yeah.
I'm in the manufacturing industry, and that is something that I can say that my actual job is doing that, and it's awesome to see. And it's a family-owned business that is somewhat bigger, but it's nice to be a part of a company that recognizes that. So
Yeah,
I think
right?
it needs to happen in every industry, and it's cool that you're implementing that here in your own business while, wanting it for your other job. Way to go on 2 jobs, by the way. Or we're running a business.
And 2 kids. And
Oh, yeah,
a
that
family
too.
and a wife. And
That's another
No,
job as
it's
well.
cool. I
Wow.
don't need sleep.
Yeah, I was going to say, when do you sleep? Do you ever take a break?
No.
Yeah.
I don't. There's always something to do.
That's
for
awesome.
Sure. But I make sure to I make sure to go play football outside with my son and play video games with my daughter, and I definitely try to make time for my wife, but it's just hard.
It's a good
super
thing to
hard.
have. I was gonna say it's a good thing to have a good team around you, so you feel comfortable delegating things and that type of thing to open yourself up that way. But
Yeah, I was talking to somebody last night, and they were like, "You're not there? Like you're not watching?" And I'm like, "No, like
I hired the right people.
I hired the right people, so I don't have to worry about it. They're incredible."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice, and that's a good feeling. And plus, like you said, your wife is next door as
Yeah.
well, right? So
Yeah.
do you guys get a chance to see each other often because of that?
well, he's got a full-time job.
I'm just saying.
Well,
when
we
he's
both
here,
work from home,
Jesus.
so
that's nice.
we see each other all day.
Yeah,
right? Like,
Dan, in your face.
Usually, if she's here, I have to be home though, because of the kids.
Yeah.
Because
That makes sense.
we have an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old. So
They can watch themselves. They're fine.
not my daughter. No. She's a hot mess. So. My son would be fine. She fell down the stairs yesterday. She's got like this giant. She's just a disaster.
Wow, good for her.
Is she the 11 or the 7?
She's the 7-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's
It sounds like a little badass. I mean, falling
Yeah.
down the stairs
Yeah.
and just being
Yeah.
there again.
When we had our first one, people were like, "This is not normal." Like Eugene is such a perfect, amazing child, and everybody's like, "That's not usually
That's not
what
a thing.
happens." And then we found out with Georgia that, oh yes, here we go. There it is.
Well, I think we're probably at the halfway point. Got to be pretty close. My internal clock is telling me so. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about the future and what else is going on here. So.
Nice.
yeah, we should probably go.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. Forgot.
And we're back.
That was a good segue there, Brandon. I'm glad you thought of that. Because I did forget that we are in a place that is going to be open up and doing business soon. We should probably let Chuck finish his text.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. I want to make sure that you're done.
That was Sketchbook. So
Excellent.
we're going over there to push water around today to get more familiar with the
Push
system.
water. Hey,
are
let me touch your water.
Are you
Push
guys
some water.
going to the Evanston or the Skokie?
Evanston.
Evanston.
So they let us. We're renting out the 7 Barrel Brew House from them,
Oh, nice.
so we can start our distribution network.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
Which is a good segue.
Yeah.
Speaking of
that's what I was
segues.
just- okay, Dan, why don't you go ahead and handle that question then?
Well, no, go ahead.
No, please, Dan.
No. All right. So,
brought it
yeah,
up.
you guys are going to be distributing. So, obviously, now we know you're going to be brewing out of Sketchbook. And what's the plan? Are you thinking like cans, bottles? You guys have your lineup set?
yeah, we have our flagships that we know that we're going to be doing over there. We have 6 beers that we're going to be doing over there. We're going to be doing the Dark Link Stout, the Rogers Proud Pale, the Red Rye PA, Red Rye Redemption.
Yeah, see, I know exactly what I got that reference. I'm
Yeah.
almost done with the game.
Nice.
The prologue.
I had to stop again. Like I don't have time for anything fun anymore.
That game though, I mean, side note here, totally nerdy. Like I'm part of a dad gaming group on Facebook.
That's
and
amazing.
it's very supportive of dads playing video games.
I love it.
It's the most positive group I've ever been a part of. It's less toxic than any beer group I've ever been a part of. No one shits on anybody for anything. But
That's
someone
awesome.
had posted about like finally going to start Red Dead, and I was like, congratulations on losing all of your free time, because it really is like a time sucker in the best way. It's a great game.
Yeah. I started playing. What's the Dark Souls style game? that just came out?
Yes, I know what game
Valhalla
you're
or Valheim or
It's a fucking
I can't remember now.
difficult
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
I played that game for 3 hours and I realized what it was going to be, and I
Yeah.
was like, nope,
Can't do it.
I cannot do this.
See you in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Destiny and Destiny 2 were my. This is all I do for a living.
Well, that was why I was able to play Madden, and I'm not even like a huge Madden fan, but I realized it was a game that's easy to get into and be like, okay, I played a football game, I can stop. But same thing with the NHL
Yeah.
games. Like I can start a season, I can come back 2 years from now, and I
Right.
can just pick up the season. Wait, sorry, you were talking about your flagship beers?
Yeah, sorry. I'll talk about video games all day long.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, so Dark Link, Rogers Proud, Snappy Comeback, and Better Late Than Never, and This Is What Happens, Larry. So
Nice.
that's going to be our distribution beers. We're starting with Dark Link. That we brewed that there on Thursday, so that's fermenting nicely from what I hear. I haven't been over there yet. We'll see it today.
Real quick, gonna get nerdy. Sorry, one more. Sorry.
Are you gonna say what I'm gonna say?
I just put together what the stout's name is as being Dark Link. Sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
no, that's
Sorry.
not.
No, that's not. But the Dark Link, it's a Legend of Zelda.
It is.
Reference. And I need to let my brother-in-law know that, Mike, because his son has just fallen in love with the Zelda games. So
'Cause they're
it's like,
amazing.
I'm probably gonna get a Switch at some point.
Yeah.
Sometime in my later
Breath
life.
of the Wild, I played it with my son. It was amazing, dude. It was so much fun.
That was a bonding. Okay, I'm sorry. We
I'm gonna fire up my Nintendo when I get home
Yeah.
and put in my
I
original.
have
just
I have the SNES.
get out my Power Glove.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do have a Power
I've
Glove.
got the SNES Classic, and I still play A Link to the Past. I'm in the middle of
That was the best Zelda game.
best Zelda.
So coming back to the beer,
Yes.
and I think, and but this is going on the naming thing. This is what happens, Larry. Is this a reference? This is a movie reference.
It is.
Yes. Okay. Do you guys know what movie?
No.
The Big Lebowski.
That makes
This is what
sense.
happens, Larry, when you
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck someone in the ass.
Or it's, when they do it on TV, it's Find a Stranger in the Alps.
This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Yeah. This is what happens, Larry, when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Well, I have a hard time of not relating something when I see Larry to Larry David. So right away, my brain was like a curve.
See, I thought you were going to go Leisure Suit Larry.
I also
Going
thought
back
about
to-
that. I also thought about that. We gotta talk about that.
Coming
video
full
games
circle.
off-
Over
off
and
mic
over
here.
again.
This is great. So all right. Yeah, sorry, Dan. I know.
It's from like 86.
I,
It's okay.
I know the Leisure Shoot Larry thing. But
The Sierra games were
Oh my God.
the whole important
King's
part of my
Quest.
life. Yeah,
So much fun. Oh God. You guys want to take a break with Larry? Chuck and I'll talk about video games. So Dark Link. I'm sorry. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
So is there like are they? So obviously there's an order to what's coming out. Dark Link going to be...
We started with Dark Link because there's no dry hopping, and we wanted to just
get it out.
Get it out and see what that does. And that's the one that's also been selling the most right now. So we do have it. We did distribute 6 stills to our public house and to Jarvis Square Tavern.
Cool.
Which are local Roger Park bars. So they did buy a couple of things. They actually have our English IPA Keeper on tap now, and we're out of it here, so I can't wait.
Oh, wow.
To go over there and drink it again, because
Nice.
It was really good.
So you guys are self-distroing then?
Yeah, we're going to do self-distro for a while until I collapse. and then we'll figure it out.
That was how I got the job at Lake Effect. I was delivering beer to like Benny's and other places all day long. I would start at like 9 o'clock in the morning and come back to the brewery close to like 3 or 4.
Yep.
And if there was like I said, the bottling day, it was like I was done at 12. But oh man, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to do it with the job. Like, I'm going to be taking meetings in a car.
Yeah.
Like, in a van, right? Like, I'll be doing my meetings from the van.
Perfect.
It'll be fine. So yeah, we're going to start with kegs and bars, and we're going to see what we can do here and in Evanston. We're going to try to capture this little area and see if we can distribute those kegs there. I do have a few friends that work at a few bars, so we're going to be okay to start. And then we'll figure out how to grow it and see what happens. Next, after that, would be canning, for sure.
Cool.
And Sketchbook. I don't know. Did they have the canning line at the Evanston location?
So, so basically, I mean, at Skokie, they just bought giant. Like, they bought a 20 barrel and
that Skokie location
knew
is so
everything.
awesome.
And, like, it's amazing.
I haven't
It's
been
beautiful.
there yet, but I know.
Really?
Is that the one we went to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were there a couple times. We were there for Mike's birthday,
yeah.
and then I went there for Oktoberfest this year, which is
Oh, yeah. Nice. And they had a ton of bands, and, like, that space is awesome.
It's so cool. And the food people, like I'd say food trucks, but they actually just have like pop-ups inside the bar. There's a window
the rotating
inside.
kitchen.
Yeah, rotating kitchen, exactly.
Yeah.
And for Oktoberfest, they had stuff outside from, I forget the name of it, but they have some deli hot dog place. It was really good. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah. So they do. There is a disassembled canning line over there at the Evanston location, and I do have a labeler in one of the rooms too. So I was talking to Caesar about that, and maybe renting that from them or doing mobile canning for a little while.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Like when that time comes. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And Caesar's an awesome guy.
He's amazing.
He's someone else I met through doing beer festivals. So he's super
Well,
cool.
he recently got voted onto the
I saw that.
Craft Brewers Guild, right? Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met when Sketchbook first opened. I actually have one of their original like small tap handles. It was like just a circle that they made, and they had left this festival, and that was still there. And I was like, well, I'm not just gonna leave it here. There's not even a threading inside. It's just wood. They just literally just twist it on, and it's like eating away the wood. And I left it because I'm like, that's a piece of like, and it's got the old logo on it too.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
Before I moved to Portage Park, I lived in Andersonville. So like when Sketchbook opened, that was like the closest craft brewery at the time. There was like another one that closed it was like something to do with dogs. I can't even remember, but it's like it was open for a short time.
Their hazy IPA was the first hazy IPA I think that I tried. That I was like, oh shit, I like hazy IPAs. What's the name of that? Something about low clearance or something.
Oh
yeah.
Something about
Low clearance. Low clearance. I think is what it's called. It's very good.
Yeah.
Their beers are awesome.
Their beers are awesome, and they really are amazing people. So they came in here the weekend we opened. They all came over.
I was going to ask, a lot of the stories that we've heard mainly, I mean, throughout the whole Chicagoland area, but with Double Clutch, they had a lot of support from Temperance, and they had support from Sketchbook and guys like that. So how was it for you guys? Like you were saying, you opened up like Sketchbook came.
Everybody, we've had some people from Alarmist in here, some people from Goose Island. Like everybody is just so
Hopefully not
incredibly
Gary.
nice. What's that?
Hopefully not Gary.
We got people.
Oh no, we haven't had Gary come
We
in.
got people walking in.
Hey, J-Dub. What's
Okay.
up? Oh yeah, we're just doing a little
You're fine.
podcast. No, it's totally fine.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you. Come on in, you're fine.
Yeah, you guys all right? I'm gonna leave this in.
Well, you're here now. You have to talk.
JW, everybody, JW.
Hey, JW.
Go
This
Pack,
is
go.
one of the awesome bartenders that we
Shut
have
up, Dan.
that shows up in his Packers gear on Sunday, and I actually really respect it.
Yeah, good job on the win last week.
So yeah, the community has been so amazingly helpful and responsive. Like Caesar, basically, we're getting like a master's level course on how to scale up to a 7-barrel.
That's awesome.
Because he knows everything that he did wrong, right? And he's helping us just scale our recipes and use the system and teach us everything. And we're brewing with Eric, who used to brew at Haymarket. He's the head brewer over there, and like everybody has just been so friendly. Dan over there is awesome. He comes in every now and again. It's been great.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a good experience to have, friends in the game.
And I think that's what, out of all the years of home brewing and then going to events and like hanging out with brewers and stuff, like everybody's just always so helpful and friendly. It's an incredible industry. Like it's just how willing people are to help and talk and hang out and do podcasts and talk about beer. Like it's such a fun.
That's one of the things that sort of drew me into craft beer when I started getting into it, because it just seemed like it was such like a communal group. So it was like it was like so great to hear the stories about, oh yeah, this brewery's opening, like let's invite them to teach them something, or to, like in your case, to upscale and use their system. So it's like it's a cool community.
So are you saying that you found out that if you drink, people will be your friend? Like,
Yes.
So question. So based on the location, you're the northernmost brewery in Chicago. We're literally Evanston is across the street. Mm-hmm. What was, you had the idea to do this. Was this always the area that you were looking into, or was it, did you look into other places?
Yeah. So we actually, I was going for a much grander place, right? Like I was trying to do something that would have been around like $500,000 to $1 million. Couldn't get the funding for it. Because it turns out they don't want to just give money to like people who work in tech.
Wait, what?
There was a place I've always looked like north for sure, because there's no breweries up here really.
Yeah.
You have Evanston, but like even Edgewater doesn't have a brewery, and there's some great bars in Edgewater, like Beard and Belly.
Yeah, which is surprising. Like you'd feel like at this point now, how many breweries we have in Chicago, the Chicagoland area, there would be one in just about every neighborhood.
Right. And I think that's where it's getting to.
Yeah.
Like I think it's going that direction, especially with the closures that have been kind of happening around the industry, which totally sucks. I think we're in a really good position to start as small as we are, and then try to build the brand around where we're going.
It feels like you have to do it that way, like grassroots sort of growing.
That's what I was going to say. Like this, I love the size of this place, and I don't know how to describe it to anybody listening. It's
37. We got 37 seats, right?
It's small. Yeah, it's small, but like in the best way possible, where it's like you could fill this place up, but it's still comfortable. And I feel like this, if I right now, if I were to start a brewery, this is the size that I would want, and I want to go this route because I feel like number one, it's the safest.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You're not buying enough more you could chew. But I mean, again, going back to like how many beers you guys have on tap, location. You mean you're right by the Howard stop?
Yeah,
that's a red line for you folks. Maybe not.
What folks? Here. What are you talking about? The folks that don't live here? They don't even know what the other color lines would be. Then, man.
They've been here.
Okay.
What? So, do you know what this place was before?
I think it was a real estate office. Oh. I mean, there was a drop ceiling on that half. This wall wasn't there yet. The brewery wall with the windows wasn't there. We had to finish out this wall. Obviously, the bar wasn't here. The biggest problem we had was that pole. We were like, how do you deal with a pole in the middle of a room?
Yeah.
And the architect was a genius. Like, it's perfect.
It works here. The bar is connected to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good.
And also, like, the thing that I love most about this tap room is this bar and how complete strangers wind up being friends when they leave. Because you're forced to engage. I mean, it's a small place, and
it's not like a big long bar where you could get away with like, you can sit on your phone. And there's times where I've been at a bar by myself because I'm lonely. No, I'm joking. If I was waiting for somebody and like, it's easy to just pull out your phone and just sit there. But here it would almost be like a little awkward. Like, Dan, even though I know you and I don't like you, but if say we didn't know each other, and we sat here, and I sat down here, and you were there, I would most likely, because of how it would be awkward for me not to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It is a nice like social kind of making of a social situation.
All you have to do is bring up Star Wars, and people are talking for 3 hours.
Oh,
like,
shit, this
it's
is
like
my bar.
Everybody starts debating and like talk. We had a whole thing about like if we were going to cast a female Indiana Jones, like who would that be?
Good question.
I was a big fan of Scarlett Johansson. I think she would do a great job as Indiana Jones.
I can see that. It's time for Harrison Ford to wrap it up, though.
Yeah, that guy's old. It's time to. Yeah.
I mean, they de-aged. Like it looks like it's going to be de-aged for like 90% of the new film. And why do we need a new Indiana Jones film?
Stop de-aging people and stop making Indiana Jones films.
There
I'm
we
with
go.
you. Just watch the old
I
ones.
think Chuck and I are becoming best
Yeah,
friends.
dude,
Dan, you've been replaced.
That was a quick jump from Star Wars to Indiana Jones to.
Oh, you know.
I'm Team Star Trek.
There it is.
I
I just watched
I
all
am not
the
Team
all
Star
the
Trek.
Star Trek movies. That was great.
So like my one Star Trek story, the one day like I couldn't. So I used to do marketing for Fishman's that was up in Jeff Park.
Yeah.
It was a bar, and
R.I.P.
I had helped them market an event, and I had to be out of town for it. And Will Wheaton showed up and was drinking at Fishman's. I was like, son of a bitch! The one time I couldn't be there. And I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but it would have been cool.
Will Wheaton fan, though.
I'm a huge Stand By Me fan.
Well, I mean, you know, that's one of those. I've seen that movie 100 times. At least.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Yeah.
Dan probably hasn't. Dan, how many times have you seen Stand By Me?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you should.
He's 19 years old.
We
should.
we were recording an episode.
He's not really 19. He's definitely 21.
He's definitely in his 30s.
We were recording an episode a couple weeks ago, and we were running. Oh, it's during Halloween, and we were like, I put a TV over my bar where we record, and I was starting to play all these Halloween movies. Don't play that yet. I haven't seen it. It was like Gremlins, and I was like, don't play this yet. I haven't seen that. I'm like, these are every fucking classic like horror movie, and he's like, it's on my list to watch. I'm like, you gotta get watching, man, because we're gonna start watching things here. And,
It's also Christmas time, so like
Yeah.
it's movie time.
have you seen A Christmas Story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Hey, J-Dub, can you just hold off on the water just for a few
It's
minutes?
like, are you sure?
Chuck,
I
we'll have to have you, by the way, one time you'll have to come by the
Multi-Hour
Studios, which is in Jefferson Park.
Is that in the cabin or?
Oh, no,
Tony.
This is that we haven't built it yet.
Tony just inviting people to Brandon's house.
I do. That's what I do. I mean, but Chuck, I feel like would fit in
I
right
would
there.
absolutely love to
sit at
hang
the
out.
bar there, man. We'll have to brew something, and then we'll have to come by and hang out there.
That sounds great.
I have a question about. So what are you looking at for? By the time this comes out, it's January. This is January 2023. New Year's resolutions has been made. You obviously have distribution coming up. What else are you looking forward to, like for the future of Howard Street here?
Collecting a salary would be really cool.
That'd be cool. Good luck with that. I heard that's a fun thing to wish for every year. Oh, jeez.
No, I think I am so excited to see what we do and where we go. I mean, I don't know. You can stare at numbers and you can write your business plans and you can do all the things, but like until you're out in the field implementing what you're doing, it's you just don't know. So I think I'm just super excited. We got this place running, right? Like this has been running for 6 months. It runs really well. The beers are coming out great. Super excited about that. I think the next 6 months are really going to be about understanding how to be a self-distributor.
Sure.
Like, figure that out.
So I'm just staring at it. He's putting candles into those jars. I was looking at those jars. I'm like, what are those jars for? Putting candles in.
Oh,
and now
they're-
I'm like,
and they're being
what are those
unplugged
candles? Because I'm sure my wife would
they're
want
not-
those.
Oh,
The chargeable
this
candle.
place is cool.
Wait until he turns them on. That's the best part.
Does he snap and then they all turn on? Ah, it's a button. Hey!
Oh, wait. And they flicker.
This is the first time we've done a podcast over candlelight.
So I see. So looking around, I see you guys do open mic night, board game night, trivia night, and that you have a membership program.
Yes.
Is so what's the membership program involved? Is there anything like that you guys
So
do
it's
here?
it's super easy, right? Like you can get 6 to 24 growlers depending on the tier. So there's the cellarer, the brewer, the brewmaster, and the quality controller, and each one has varied discounts and. We're not like you have to get one growler. Like we're not sticking to any sort of rule. we ask that nobody just get 6 growlers out the gate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm here for my 6 growlers.
Yeah, like, no.
Spread it out.
But everybody's been really cool. I think we're almost at 10 members now, you know, and we're building a brand, and we're slowly building it up. But every day somebody signs up, it's a huge win for us.
That's really cool to hear that, like, you specifically said, like, you're up to 10 people. Like, it's nice to know, like, how in touch you are with, like, everything that's going on here. Like you said, like, you can't be here all the time, but you still know that. Like, you guys are obviously very, very new, and it's fun. There's been a couple of breweries that we've had the opportunity to come to, like, as they've been newer. So it's been fun hanging out and talking to you about this. And I really like this spot, man. The beers are good. The Curmudgeonly Carl Vienna is a winner.
Nice. I love it. Thank you so much.
Really good Vienna beer, and I did enjoy the Saison.
Nice.
I'm still not sold on Saisons, but it was delicious.
Nice.
Dan's going to have to help me get back into liking Saison. There's a
So
spice to
Scratch
Saison.
is probably not going to be on your list of, like, favorite breweries to go to.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's on my list. I've never been there.
I've been down there. So my wife's family is from down there, and they took me there last summer. And it's awesome.
I want to go. So it's in like Ava, Illinois, which is like southern Illinois. What's that?
Oh, Scratch?
Murfreesboro.
Yeah. You're talking about Scratch?
Yeah.
The only reason I know about Scratch Brewing is Michael from Hopleaf, like, loves the hell out of them. And so much so that him and his wife drive down there to pick up their kegs so they can tap it at the bar.
Wow.
And, like, he's posted pictures, and I'm like, that looks like just such a chill spot that, like, very rustic.
I'll
And
go.
It's in the middle of the woods. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally
What?
just in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And it's this like, the tap room's almost like a cabin, and, you know, their brew house
Next time we go
is pretty
camping,
awesome.
Well,
let's go down there.
They forage for a lot of their ingredients.
Yeah, they harvest
Forage.
everything from the land, right? Like,
Forages anymore.
Dan, why aren't you working on that as an episode?
I need to get down there. So I actually got to see them speak and try a bunch of their beers because they did this like Stein series where they brew things in like a kettle, but then they throw like hot stones in.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, to like as a
It's
style.
like an
of
old, like, I think Norwegian?
something like that.
Like
But it's
beer?
I got to do it.
Or an
It was at
Icelandic,
the beer
yeah.
temple, but it was like it was so good because
Did
it
you
kind of
s-
caramelizes the sugars a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh, yeah. But I've
Absolutely.
seen, like, with, like,
The
people do
hot
with, like, box and
rods.
stuff, and they'll
Yeah.
take the rods.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, how far, I don't know if you said it already, how far is that place from Springfield?
Oh, so
Because you go down to
feel-
Springfield.
Oh, it's a good little ways.
Yeah, I
from
mean it's like
Springfield,
how
for
many
sure.
hours from here?
But he goes to
It's
Spring,
like 5
or
and a half
6.
to 6.
but he goes to
yeah.
Springfield pretty regularly. So my question was like, hey, take a little extra trip.
A little extra trip from Springfield.
I'm gonna be honest. I have family who live in Southern Illinois that's about 6 hours away, so
Yeah.
I think
I
I
mean-
could probably go there.
I mean it's on the list of like, yeah.
All right, we'll do that. We'll
It's,
get to
that place is incredible. They're
We'll
making.
let you know when
They're
we
making
go.
cool beer. I'll go down there.
They do like
with us?
Yeah, I'll
bread.
go with you.
Don't they do like
trip.
bread
Hang
and
out
stuff?
You don't have free time.
Don't they?
Oh, right.
Work shit. You can work from the car. You can work from the
I'm
car.
supposed to go for Christmas, and I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So
Well, Chuck, thanks a lot, man, for inviting us here. This is awesome, and everybody especially in the Chicagoland area and surrounding, come over here to Howard Street. It's awesome, nice little place, good beers. Wait, real quick, Dan, what beers did you end up? Dan ended up getting a fucking whole flight here because he's not driving. Lucky him.
So they do flights. I did. So originally I did the alt beer, and then I did the ESB, the Vienna, the Saison, and the Belgian Strong.
Do you have a favorite? I mean, it's not saying one's better than the other, but
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
personally
No,
have a favorite? He's sipping everything at once, not giving a chance to his palate.
I think
to
the
be cleansed.
Saison is my favorite on that list.
Yeah, the Saison is like a good like yeasty Saison. I'm still thinking like the alt beer might be my
Nice.
favorite of the
Nice.
bunch.
Cool.
And I really like the Vienna, like
Vienna
Tony
is
said.
really good.
Nice.
Vienna is awesome. And
Nice.
I said this off mic, but I throw it up there with Dovetail's Vienna Lager, which is fucking delicious.
Yeah,
I mean,
super
that's-
good, and I love the color on it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Nice.
It's like,
That's just, I mean, Vienna Lager is what made me realize that I like lagers, because not all lagers have to be light and crisp and fruity.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Right. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. We'll probably come harass you and maybe come brew a malting hour beer with you, man.
I think that would be amazing. We'll
be a lot
get
of
set
fun.
up and get it done.
We'll do it. That'll be a lot of fun. You guys got anything else you want to say?
no, but I do want to ask if you can throw out where people can find you. So the address and
Oh,
your
yeah.
hours.
So we
Brandon's
are
really good at that. I'm
Nice.
like, go find him, guys. Howard Street. We're out of here.
Good luck.
there's an internet.
Google.
Go down Howard a half a mile before you hit the lake. If you hit the lake, you've gone too far.
I forget that this show is supposed to supplement just having to Google something. Like we'll give you all the information here. My bad.
So you can follow us on the socials at Howard Street Brewing. So whether that be Instagram or Facebook, we're on there as Howard Street Brewing. We are located at 1617 West Howard Street, which is just like 2 blocks east of the Red Line.
You can take the train here, everybody. Red line.
We're right off the
or
Red
off
Line.
the yellow line.
Yeah, and our website is howardstreetbrewing.com. And we have all of our updated beers are on that website, any events that we have coming up, and all that stuff.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to drinking more of your beer and continued success to you. This is awesome, and you're a nice addition to what is already a thriving Chicago beer scene, and we wish nothing but the best for you, man.
Nice.
We look forward to you helping us build that malting hour cabin.
I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Brandon, love you, man.
Love you too, bud.
Dan, you fucking lush.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all 3. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.